Jenny Chen is a health and science journalist based in DC. She self-medicates with yoga and buttered English muffins. She's going to share her piece, What I Would Tell Her.
The hallways in the Mary Lowe dormitory are bright and quiet. Soft guitar chords and laughter waft from behind various rooms as I walk down the stairs to the basement, turning left, then right, then left again, until I'm in the kitchenette. 2 vending machines rest quietly against the wall there. The sink drips shyly. I reach into my pocket and pull out a crumpled dollar bill. A chunky Snickers bar slides out of C2 and falls with a satisfying clunk at the bottom of the flap. I unwrap it and start eating, the nutty gooiness melting sweetly in my mouth, but over too quickly. I shove 2 more dollar bills down through the bill slot, and the vending machine greedily sucks them up. 2 more Snickers bars disappear down my throat. Then, as if my legs are possessed, I turn and hurry back down the hallway towards the private basement bathroom. My stomach squirms unhappily. When I'm inside, I lock the door and stick my fingers down my throat. Instantly, the sweetness transforms into a sour mess as it splatters satisfyingly into the toilet bowl. I throw up for the next 15 minutes. Then I lean against the wall, my breathing shallow, my body feeling like a drained sack. The lights feel strangely brighter than before. My heart lurches and thunders in my ears, which makes me panic. It feels like I'm going to die. I race back upstairs to my room and dial the emergency hotline and croak out my room number. Then I collapse into the blankets on my bed. Colby College sits on top of a hill surrounded by miles of pine trees, abandoned paper mills, and small farms. It's been there since 1942, when the campus was moved from the town of Waterville to the top of Mayflower Hill. With matching brick buildings, luxuriant green lawns, and a white steeple chapel, the college easily lives up to its reputation as one of the most beautiful campuses in the United States. I never expected to go to college as far north as Maine, but Colby gave me the most money when they sent me my acceptance letter. The night before I left for college, I dreamed that I was going up north to meet the polar bears. The first few months in the Pine Tree State felt like a dream. We spent days canoeing lazily down the Saco River and stayed up late to swap gossip and stories with our new friends. We climbed to the roof of our dorm and stared out at the lights of the closest city 20 miles away. We played pranks on the cute upperclassmen boys. But things started to change by the end of my second semester. With the creeping stress of college, roommates, boys, and the anxiety of adulthood, I spiraled uncontrollably into anorexia, which, during my last year, morphed into bulimia. I spent the next 3 years of my life at the gym, which smelled like a mixture of Lysol and dirty socks. I weighed myself at the health center every day and doodled calorie counts on the margins of my lecture notes, and I stopped talking to my friends. This September, I made a trip back to Colby, nearly 3 years after I graduated, to report on a story for the college alumni magazine. Like my student days, I took the 4-hour bus ride from Boston to Waterville, Maine, but I was unprepared for the wave of emotion that washed over me as we pulled off exit 127, and I suddenly found myself bumping along a familiar pothole-ridden road with Martin's, the famous Maine discount store, on the right, and Super Shoes in neon orange on my left. Further down this road was a vintage bread store, don't ask, a thrift shop, and 2 of the town's only grocery stores. The bus strained slightly up Mayflower Hill, and the college slid into view. I saw the Mary Lowe dorm and the little hill to the nutritionist's office. Behind that was the freshman dorm where it all started. The trees still looked the same. The buildings still looked the same. It was like nothing had changed. I didn't die the day I called emergency services. After I put down the phone, I lay in my bed until my heart rate slowed and my breathing returned to normal. By the time someone knocked on my door 10 minutes later, I felt very foolish. I opened the door crack and told him that I had accidentally called and that everything was fine. "You sure?" the young officer said. "Yep," I said as cheerfully as I could, then shut the door. For the next couple of years, I went to therapists and nutritionists and read every book on recovery I could. I covered my walls with affirmations. Every week, I resolved not to binge and purge, but every week I would break it, and every broken resolution seemed to reaffirm that fact that I would never fully recover. I felt like I was stumbling through a dark forest where every tree looked the same and my compass was hopelessly broken. These days, I've mostly forgotten what it was like to live in the grips of anorexia and bulimia. I'm preoccupied by the problems of now, a guy who doesn't text back, a deadline I need to finish, or if I'm going to make enough money to buy milk this week. But as I watch chatty summer flush students move boxes of bedding and clothes from their cars to their dorms from my seat on the bus, I remember that there was a time when my mind raced with different thoughts, of how I was going to throttle more calories from my diet, how I was going to lie to my friends about going to the gym, how I was going to keep myself from scarfing down an entire loaf of bread. When you return to a place you've lived in before, your present self suddenly collides with the ghost of your past self, and the effect can be startling for all parties involved. I wanted to reach through time to where she was sitting in her room, flipping desperately through books on eating normally and watching interviews with people who had fully recovered, and tell her that it would all be okay. I wanted to hug her and show her that her dream would one day come true.